Welcome back, nerds. I know you love the X-Men secondary mutations, so I rounded up the confirmed ones and ranked them, so let's see if we agree. 9. Black Tom Cassidy's plant form. What started out as general plant powers, force or heat using wood manipulation, it escalated. He turned into a plant Masque, which is cool, but I imagine it would get kind of old pretty fast, especially when you're so used to being a person. He was able to turn back to his regular form in the end. 8. Elixir's diachromatomorphic skin, or essentially just gold skin. This one would have been ranked higher, but there's some debate about whether or not this is actually a secondary mutation or simply something that Josh did to himself. Elixir's mutant ability is biokinesis, so basically he controls the biological structure of the human body to the genetic level. So the theory presented is that Josh made himself gold, and it's not actually a secondary mutation, kind of like when Franklin Richards accidentally made himself appear as a mutant, even though he wasn't because he was so powerful. However, something that works in Elixir's favor is his skin is gold when he heals, but it turns obsidian when he harms, hinting that this might be an actual secondary mutation. 7. Husk's personality swings and blackouts connected to her shape-shedding abilities. As an omnimorph, Husk literally sheds her skin to change forms. Going from diamond to wood to metal, she can control her ability, but it often happens without thought. Ranked up high because her secondary mutation sounds kind of annoying and unhelpful. It's theorized that her secondary mutation causes excessive mood swings and blackouts because her personality changes with the Husk in play, which is not something that I would want to go through. 6. Masque's biological manipulation. Masque could reshape other people, rearranging their very structure, but he couldn't change himself, which is like a whole thing because he was not like super physically attractive. However, he was pierced by Shatterstar's sword and it caused his body to go into full survival mode and granted him his secondary mutation. He was finally able to modify his own body, first to survive that sting, but later he could use it for anything. 5. Iceman's ice form. What originally started out as the ability to simply generate extreme cold and an ice encasing around his body turned into a full ice form. After experiencing a chest injury, Iceman's body saved him by turning him, or just like really encasing him in ice. He couldn't switch back to his human form though, which he didn't love. There was also the downside that he could be shattered because he was a walking ice sculpture, but he did look really cool and he was able to reform his body in the end. 4. Beast's feline form and the blue. At the end of the day, is it more useful to be covered in blue fur and doing all the things you were doing before when you were simply a guy? No, not really. It's actually more detrimental to the hero's life, at least at first, but Beast's blue fur gave him a signature look. When he looked like a regular human, sure, it was easier for him to blend in, but that's just it. He could have been a blip among the thousands of mutants out there. The blue made him iconic. 3. The Stepford Cuckoo's diamond hearts. The Stepfords are like clones of Emma Frost. It's a trio of girls, but in reality there's thousands of them. They all have hive mind abilities, and like their mother Emma, a diamond form. But 3 of the Stepfords developed a special ability after a run-in with the Phoenix Force, diamond hearts. To contain the destructive being, they developed the perfect holding cell, which is their hearts. The Force was trapped inside, which was great. However, it meant that while their hearts were in that form, they can't feel anything. They've become not like lifeless, but unfeeling, cold. They remember everything that has happened to them, but it doesn't matter because they can't feel any of it. 2. Kid Omega's corporal disembodied psychic consciousness. Already Kid was a pretty powerful telepath, a pure genius, and considered an Omega level mutant, obviously given his name. However, Kid Omega soon experienced a secondary mutation and became a non-corporal life form, essentially a disembodied consciousness. His brain cells turning into energy faster than light. He was able to connect with every being on the planet in this form, which is pretty cool, but he found it boring, so he became a real boy again. And number 1, Emma Frost's diamond skin will forever take first place for me. Not only is it iconic and looks incredible, but it's completely practical. It protects her and also increases her abilities, which in my opinion is what a secondary mutation should do. Sure, she becomes more durable, but she is also stronger, experiences less fatigue, doesn't age, is immune to telepathy. That's an up and down side, protection from telepathy, but also she can't use her own. So you can't have it all, but will forever look good doing it. But what do you think? Let us know in the comments section. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye, nerds!